What did you say?
Ironically, it was a video titled WTF Happened to Zay Hilfiger. Vlogs were not the only thing he branched off to. As you may remember, he went viral for starting an OnlyFans.
As I may remember, no, that was not information I was previously privy to. Do not gaslight me like that. You said, as you remember, nigga, you are tripping.
Racist against rappers, they all look the same to him. They used to beg him not to egg him on Halloween. You told him holler back with the suede Pumas, dollar green. Nah, I mean, heat it up till the temperature tarball. Y'all just gawk like gargoyle.
Somebody revving the hell out of a motorcycle outside. All right, let's get into it. MattyBallz, one hit wonders. Is your actual name like Balls? You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I'm gonna need like an MLA format explanation as to why you named your channel MattyBallz. All right, let's go. What are rap's one hit wonders today? I'll be honest, I don't think Say's the Gemini was a one hit wonder. These two most definitely one hit wonders, one move wonders. Made in Tokyo. I don't know where he went, bro. Last big hit I heard from Made in Tokyo was Ned Flanders, and then I haven't heard nothing else. He was also on Ferg's album.
The 2010s were a great time in rap and home to many great songs, but it also produced a lot of one-hit wonders. Whether it's bangers like Uber Everywhere and Coco, or
I'll be honest, I didn't really like Uber Everywhere,
or dance songs like Hit the Quan and Juju on That Beat. All of these tracks were super viral, but now many are wondering.
I did hear about this, unfortunately.
What
I did hear about this, unfortunately.
So
Jay's a Gemini was a freaked out nigga, bro.
Looking into some of rap's forgotten one-hit wonders, starting off with OT Genesis.
Before we get into that, I have a gaming channel. So if you want to check that out, you can. All right.
Real quick, I want to say, well, a lot of these guys were like true one-hit wonders. Some of them had like their hit song and then like maybe a couple other big ones. But in general, I think you could call them a one-hit wonder. And also, if you think anyone's missing, I've done plenty of one-hit wonder videos. I kind of have a series going. So if you're interested, check out the playlist that this is in after the video. And with that being said, let's continue. OT Genesis is best known for his 2014 hit single,
in love with the
Coco.
And cut it.
But aside from
damn, was this man just a cokehead?
Maybe one or two other songs, most people haven't heard anything from him since. He was born in Atlanta, but
your price is way too high. You need to cut it.
Grew up in California, raised by his parents who moved to the U.S. from Belize. In 2010, OT first started gaining some local traction following his somewhat successful song Touchdown. The song actually caught the eye of 50 Cent, who called OT himself to sign him to G-Unit. However, OT wasn't signed to like a traditional deal, and 50 only actually had him sign for that one song instead of like his whole career, which was really weird. So eventually he ended up signing to Busta Rhymes. OT though had no idea how an advance worked, so he blew through all of his money, and after a year with nothing to show for it, he was almost dropped by the label. And when his career was almost over, OT recorded and released a game changer, and that was his song Coco. The song with his famous chorus, I'm in love with the Coco.
I was wondering why the video always looks so basic. It's because he didn't have enough money to do a high production video. He ain't need to do nothing else, bro. He just got the local cokeheads to come in here and be like, hey man, let's sing about how much we love Coco.
Dropped in 2014 and couldn't have come at a better time for OT. Coco peaked at 20 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and even went on to
2 times platinum. It was pretty big.
So double platinum.
I wonder where Cut It is at.
The song did so well that eventually he put out a remix with Meek Mill and Jeezy. 2 days after he put out part 2, he actually put out a part 3 of the song with Chris Brown. So
what?
Obviously, he was milking the track for everything he could, but I mean, it makes sense. It was it was his first big song. Even Lil Wayne remixed the song on his Sorry for the Wait 2 mixtape.
Yeah, I remember.
Also, Pitbull.
Y'all gotta listen to Sorry for the Wait, bro. Especially the remix he did to the what's her name? What's that white girl name? Not Kesha. What is her name? One big room full of bad bitches. One big room full of. One of y'all gonna let me know in the comments, bro. What song was that?
J Balvin and a bunch of other EDM artists put out their own.
Gucci, Krayshawn. I don't know why I got excited for that, bro. That song was mid until Wayne hopped on it. Gucci, pretty booty, Prada, Prada.
versions as well. Although I think Ed Sheeran's version might be the funniest.
I'm in love with a Coco.
This is crazy.
The song got remixed a ton by those in the music game. It eventually started to achieve the meme status as well. A big part of this was the Coco trend on Vine.
I'm in love with the Coco.
All of that just for a slightly funny Vine is kind of ridiculous, dog. I'm not gonna lie.
Even Anthony Fantano and Filthy Frank parodied the song. And while it seemed like
I gotta hear that, low-key.
Genesis was on the fast track to be a one-hit wonder, he did put out one more big song, and
Cut
that
it.
was Cut It with
Cut
Young
it.
Dolph.
Cut
Again,
it.
just like
Cut
Coco,
it.
the song did very well, and even
Your price is way too high. You need to cut it.
went double platinum, although this
Yeah.
ended up being his last platinum record.
Cut it.
Following Cut It,
Cut
only
it.
his
Cut
2016
it.
song Push It made any type of waves.
Oh, push it, push it, push it, push. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money, bro. OT Loki kind of had a wave going, bro. What happened?
In his music career, OT never dropped an album, only releasing
He never dropped an album.
4 mixtapes, which never really made it that big.
Coke butter.
And while he still continues to release singles to this day, they just don't perform anywhere near as well as his
What?
hits. And while OT may have technically fallen off, he still uses his past fame to appear as a feature on other artists' songs or
Yeah.
tour around the world, like in Asia and Australia. He also appeared on season 8 of MTV's The Surreal Life alongside Chet Hanks and other celebrities.
What?
So honestly, things don't look too bad for him, and he's clearly
I'm glad he's still getting a bag though. I love that. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. I love that.
made pretty good money off his 2 big songs. And while OT Genesis was able to use his hits to his advantage and continue touring, Sage the Gemini had a tougher time due to a few allegations. Sage the Gemini's
Sheesh, bro. I know I am Samu hates the fact that he has so many features with this nigga, bro. That's crazy.
the rapper who reached a decent amount of popularity.
And he made some good songs too. That's the crazy part, bro. I had no business listening to this man's songs when I was in middle school, bro. But dude, come on, bro. All this money on me. Now come and take it from a G. All she wanna do is get naked, naked, naked. And she gon' shake it like a rat nose. Like a rat nose.
But is almost solely known by listeners for his song Gas Pedal. In
Oh yeah, speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal. Let me stop, bro.
2008, Sage released his first song.
That was 2008. Oh, in MySpace. I was not. I never had a MySpace account, mainly because 2008 I was 8 years old. So I was
Song You Should Know on MySpace, which actually went kind of viral on the platform. It got 3 million views. After this initial success, Sage joined Black Money Music Group as well as the HBK gang, since he was close friends with fellow rapper I Am Sue. Then in 2013, Sage released 2 singles that completely changed his career trajectory. Those were the songs Red Nose and Gas Pedal. Both of these tracks went platinum. The viral success gave Sage a spotlight, which led to a record deal with Republic Records. And then in an attempt to keep the momentum rolling, in 2014, Sage released his debut studio album, Remember Me, which
I do remember this album cover.
7 years after its release, reached gold. Although, to be fair, the reason it went gold was mostly because he had the 2 big singles on
Yeah,
there. Many
Red
critics
Nose
said the
and
album
Gas
lacked
Pedal.
diversity, which made it all kind of blend together. Although,
Makes sense. I don't remember any other Sage the Gemini song. You know, I remember a couple of OT Genesis songs, and this dude never dropped the album. Sage the Gemini, I don't put the gun to my head, bro. I will be popped.
regardless, the album was received generally well. And later that year, Sage even landed a feature on Flo Rida's
Oh, it's going down for real. Yeah.
GBFR, or Going Down For Real. The song peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and
I forgot he was on that
also
mug.
went on to go
This is like a trip through memory lane, bro.
quadruple platinum, which obviously is a pretty big accomplishment even as a feature. Sage the Gemini really is one of those rappers that's like, you kind of remember him from back in the day. He was,
Yeah.
like, kinda just- he was
For real, bro. Like, because real outside of Going Down For Real, Red Nose, and Gas Pedal, bro, I don't think I listened to any other Sage the Gemini songs. If I did, it was once in passing, and it's because YouTube autoplay to it.
kind of big at the time, but he doesn't really have anything like
I thought Sage the Gemini and Tyga were like same level of rap,
memorable.
like skill, not like Not like influence. I ain't gonna diss Tiger like that.
And that's because after this, he started putting in more work behind the scenes, doing things like producing. But this is when things started to go downhill. Around this time, he gained some attention for dating singer, actress, and American Idol winner Jordan Sparks. The relationship ended after 10 months, and some wild info dropped, which made things look pretty bad.
He dated Jordan Sparks. That's like one of the few celebrities I actually know.
One, Sage first posted and pinned a long since deleted heartfelt paragraph following the breakup. Then, in a twist, he said
I'm not reading all that.
The relationship was at first fake and just being pushed by his manager as a publicity stunt to sell his album. But then things got...
I ain't gonna lie, Sage the Gemini's face just pisses me off, bro. That nigga is like the pinnacle of light-skinnedness. That nigga is just a light-skinned ass nigga, bro.
Even weirder when a call between Sage and his ex-fiance leaked where he mentioned wanting to stab Sparks.
What?
Everything was fucking horrible. Like, that shit was fucking dumb. She got on my nerves. I want to stab her. Like, all the shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, she cool. She level-headed.
How you gonna say you wanted to stab her and then in the next breath say she's cool? Like, what are you talking about? That's gonna just give me whiplash.
Whatever, but, you know, but she's not no regular person. Like, you know.
And obviously, he got some pretty negative backlash for this.
I
He
bet.
discussed the drama later on in 2020.
I'm saying, so out of respect for her, I don't talk about it. And out of respect for me, I don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I did some dumb shit, though. I ain't gonna lie. But it wasn't as big as people thought it was. You know what I mean? But I do apologize for it. It was horrible. I'm grown now.
Although, while this was a pretty rough look, his image took another hit when he was accused of SA back in 2015.
Brutal rapper gave her herpes. First of all, brutal rapper is crazy.
However, there is no public record as to if she won the lawsuit or not, so it is hard to tell how things really worked out. Regardless, though, this really hurt his music career. After about a 3-year hiatus from releasing music, he finally got back to the studio and dropped his 2017 debut mixtape, Morse Code. The tape did include his gold single, Now and Later, which blew up with the help of a Snapchat filter.
I've never heard this before.
But apart from the Snapchat,
I'm glad I don't use Snapchat filters like that, bro. I usually used it to talk to the plug.
that song,
Plug!
the project got significantly less traction than his prior releases. Since
I've
the
never even
mixtape
heard of
drop,
it.
Sage has put out around 30 different works, including singles,
What?
mixes, features, and music videos. But unlike a lot of his early stuff, none of these have seemed to really get much attention. And while
Yeah.
he's still been able to land some pretty major features from artists like Chris Brown, the plays just aren't really coming in like they used to. He continued his career as normal though, still holding together a smaller fan base. At least that was until another recent SA allegation coming out in 2024, which apparently
Yeah, get that nigga out of here, bro. I didn't know there were multiple. I just knew it was the one. I didn't realize there was multiple.
only happened back in 2017. This time, the assault allegedly happened at Chris Brown's house, and after the non-consensual act, Sage apparently made his victim sign an NDA. The whole story came out from TMZ, but went further viral when the alleged victim uploaded a TikTok explaining everything, which got 4.8 million views. In response, Sage took to social media denying these allegations. And while the story blew up,
I ain't turning shit off, LOL. Only people she not lying to is the police because they don't give out careers.
pretty big and an official police report was filed, Sage has not faced any legal repercussions, and apparently the police aren't even conducting an official investigation. So
Wow.
it seems like his allegations paired with just the repetitive music led to his big single not having too many massive follow-ups.
Yeah.
And while Sage the Gemini's career was short-lived, Made in Tokyo was able to make his last. Made in Tokyo, like others on this list, is a name you probably have not heard in a while. This is because he blew up mainly from his song Uber Everywhere back in
The
2016.
2016s. That, oh my god.
Since then,
Never liked the Uber Everywhere. Never liked the Uber Everywhere. I thought Made in Tokyo had a lot of different better songs. I was a slight Made in Tokyo fan.
has only had a few songs reach even half close to as big as his first hit. Made in Tokyo was actually born in Honolulu, Hawaii, but grew up in a military family, so he moved around all over and spent a decent chunk of his childhood living in Tokyo. Although after moving around to all these places, he eventually settled with his older brother, who is an artist named 24 Hours, in Atlanta. Tokyo.
What? I've heard of 24 Hours. I didn't know that was Made in Tokyo's brother. That's crazy. That's crazy.
His older brother formed a collective, which he also joined alongside a few other underground artists. Around this time, Tokyo also met Metro Boomin, who he ended up collaborating with on some projects.
Made in Tokyo is so tiny, bro.
Which gave him some pretty
I'm sorry.
strong connections in the music business. Soon after this, though, everything would change for him because apparently he was chilling in the kitchen with his mom and recorded his hit song Uber Everywhere. And I guess the chorus was spontaneous as well.
Or my brother was like, yo, I'm about to hop in Uber, I'm gonna call you back. So I felt like that was the ultimate flex because people always complain about, like, yo, I spent so much on Uber today.
Y'all don't know how good y'all had it back then, bro. They be taxing like crazy now.
At first, Tokyo really didn't even think of releasing the track. That was until a day later when he listened back to it and realized how catchy it was. After being released, the song peaked at number 51 on the Billboard Hot 100 and eventually went double platinum.
I did never like this song, bro.
Uber Everywhere was featured on his first mixtape, You Are Forgiven, which also contained his second hit, I Want, featuring 2 Chainz, which also went platinum. With 2 platinum tracks on his first album, things were looking pretty good for him. Back then, he was actually like one of my favorite artists. I love this whole project.
I swear, bro.
He even got a Uber Everywhere remix with Travis Scott. About a month after the release of this mixtape, which had both of his early hits, it felt as if Tokyo couldn't miss, as he released another big song, Skateboard P. Again,
Yeah. Ooh, ain't no Skateboard P.
and not really a one-hit wonder, more like a 2 or 3 hit wonder, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. This song even got a remix with Big Sean. Although after this hit, this is when the momentum began to slow down, as from this point on, Tokyo struggled to reach platinum status again. His following mixtape,
It's because low-key Made in Tokyo was kind of going for like a Lil Uzi vibe when we had Lil Uzi right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even look at his mannerisms, bro.
as from this point on, Tokyo struggled to reach platinum status again. His following mixtape,
See, look at him. Like, come on, bro. I'm not saying he was copying Uzi. I'm just saying Uzi did it better. Like, no hate to Made in Tokyo, though.
Thank You Mr. Tokyo, and EP 24 Hours in Tokyo were received well, which aided him in being listed as one of the top 5 most streamed new artists of 2016 on Spotify. All this success also landed him a spot on the 2017 Double XL freshman class.
with Amine. Let's see here. Kamaya. I forgot she even existed, bro. What the fuck? Nobody's ever said the words "Pull that new Kamaya." Rest in peace, Kyle. Rest in peace to his career. I don't know where Cap G went. Ugly God, he had locked up, bro. Keep his ass locked up. Amine the only one. Rest in peace, Amine. I haven't heard nothing from. Where did a Boogie with the hoodie go? Where did he go? Amine, A Boogie, and Playboy Cardi are like the only 3 notable people off this list still. X with the, bro, oh my God, bro. I hate the fact that we lost X so soon, dude.
List alongside artists like A Boogie, Playboy Cardi, Ugly God, X, and more. After this, in 2018, Tokyo,
I hate that we lost X so soon, bro. Like, oh my God, bro. That nigga would be, like, I ain't gonna lie, that nigga would easily be like a top 20 rapper of all time, top 10.
released his first album's lead single,
Ned Flanders,
which featured the rapper A$AP
Diamond Yellow Ned Flanders. Yeah, I love
Ferg, and it looked like it might have been his next hit, but it didn't go quite as big as his previous song.
Yeah.
The next year, he struck gold again with his single Chuck E. Cheese, but after this, things started to slow down a bit.
I don't think I heard this one.
Even with features from big artists like J Balvin, Young Nudie, and
How did he get a J Balvin feature? What? What? How did Made in Tokyo? Well, Made in Tokyo is not exactly a small dude, I guess. Not a small artist. How the hell did he get a damn J Balvin feature though? That's outrageous. Well, I guess he travels to Tokyo, so he must be slightly international, I guess.
Signed in 2020 on his second studio album.
BJ the Chicago Kid, yeah.
Tokyo struggled to get
Loki, I kind of want to listen to this.
The same numbers he once had. Lots of fans of his were vocal about how much they liked the new stuff, but it just wasn't enough for the mainstream. After this, he released a bunch of singles as well as another couple of albums. Although again, while performing decently and receiving decent reception, they just didn't go as crazy as his old stuff. Nowadays, Tokyo still makes music with his unique Japanese influence, performing at colleges and also working a lot in the production side of music. So in the end, while he may not be receiving the same
Hey, if he's working behind the scenes, he's probably making plenty of movie
level of attention, he's still doing his thing for a pretty dedicated fan base. And while Made in Tokyo was able to make his career work for a bit, Ayo and Teo had a tougher time. Also lately, I've been drinking a lot of these white monsters, not sponsored, but They're the best, right? But it's had me
You're tripping.
a little bit concerned about my heart health. So I made a doctor's appointment, right? Between finding a good provider and taking the time to actually call just to be put on hold,
Doctor near me that doesn't charge $1 million in the
it took forever. And even after all that, they didn't have any availability for like 9 months. It was crazy. Heart problems are the #1 cause of death in the United States, so I've always wanted to make sure to take care of mine, as I even have family members that have suffered from heart issues. And that's why I'm grateful for today's sponsor, ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free website where you can easily search and compare high-quality in-network doctors so you can find the... A healthy man wants 1,000 things, but a sick man only wants one. I came up with that quote myself.
MattyBallz.
The duo Ayo and Teo
Shout out MattyBallz.
probably brings back some nostalgic memories for you.
I just want to rolly with a dabber wrench.
With their hit song Rolex, which dropped back in 2017. But since then, the pair has pretty much dropped off the map. The two brothers grew up in Michigan, first rising to fame as dancers. They used social media platforms like Vine, Instagram, and YouTube, and that's how they began to go viral. At first, dancing was their main form of content.
Reverse.
Their first early dance trend was called the reverse.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the reverse was hot. I ain't gonna lie.
Popular.
I ain't gonna lie. It's really still, like, to this day, I still think it's pretty dope. If somebody can hit like a really smooth reverse in the middle of a dance.
Pretty skyrocketed though in 2016 when they began posting clips that showcase not only their dancing talent but their personalities. This led to them having a super loyal fan base before they even put out any music. However, all of this changed in 2017 following the release of their first track, Rolex. With its catchy hook and minimalist beat, the song became a hit, peaking at number 20 on the
I just want to rolly.
Hot 100
It only peaked at 20.
chart and going double platinum.
I thought it did better than that. Well, I guess they were competing with Silent Toe at the same time. Oh my god.
Since its release, the music videos even joined the billion views club on YouTube. But what really helped this track blow up was the accompanied dance that they made up for it.
Yeah, dabber ranch. I just got some time. Who up my pants?
Teo, we about to show you how to do the roller.
I actually never knew which one was Ayo, which one was Teo. That's crazy.
Rolly way.
The success of the song even led to television appearances, performances at award shows, and collaborations with major artists in the industry like Usher and Chris Brown. Following this blow up, the boys moved to Atlanta to pursue their music careers and even signed a deal with Columbia Records later that year.
What?
So while dancing
off of a dance track is kind of a stupid move. I'm not gonna lie. dance tracks are like notorious for producing some of the biggest one-hit wonders, bro.
is what blew them up. Seeing what they reached with their new song, they wanted to keep trying music. Although, unlike many artists who capitalize on viral success by releasing albums or extended plays, Ayo and Teo's discography was pretty limited. Aside from a few follow-up singles, the duo didn't maintain a consistent output of new music. Their slower release schedule even led some fans to question whether they were still actively pursuing music careers. What made things worse was that even in the follow-up songs to Rolex that they did release, the duo struggled to replicate the same level of success.
And that's the biggest problem, bro.
While songs like Us and Hold My Sauce gained some
Hold My Sauce, niggas, bro.
attention with
Niggas be saying anything on the damn tracks.
their fan base, they didn't achieve similar mainstream traction. So rather than solely focusing on music,
Hold My Sauce. Look, I just gotta hear that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I just really want to hear that, bro.
And I'm dripped up right. Hold my sauce. Haters lost.
Okay. Yeah.
they continue to do content creation. This did help them maintain their relevance with their fans, but it also indicated a shift in their priorities. Early on in their
What the hell was this? I don't know what that was.
peak, they were seen on almost every hip-hop publication, being featured in award shows and
Makes
interviews.
sense.
But as time passed, they
Ayo and Teo's journey through music, fashion, and XXXTentacion's death. What kind of headline is that? What are we talking? XXXTentacion dies. I don't give a damn what Ayo and Teo gotta say about it. That feels like that Dave Chappelle skit. I don't care what Ja Rule gotta say about 9/11. Like, what are we talking about?
began to fade away. In the years following
Oh my
Rolex,
God.
at multiple points the duo appeared to be taking breaks or even splitting through suggestive and
Does that nigga have a Labubu chain?
ambiguous messaging on social media. They still put out some singles but struggled to reach their prior level of commercial success. Some fans theorized that it was label issues because they do apparently have a ton of unreleased music, but this was never officially confirmed. However,
I don't know why a label signs a dance duo. Like, that was ridiculous work.
Regardless of the ups and downs, in 2020 the duo made it on TV with their show called The Sauce. In the show, they were tasked with finding dancers that were next up across America, with Usher judging talent in the end. Although the show ended after just one season following the collapse of its host platform Quibi. I don't know if you guys remember
Quibi?
Quibi. I kind of want to make a video on that too, so let me know if you're interested in the comments.
I'd be down. I'm down to watch that.
But aside from their show, since then they've mostly stuck to posting on YouTube and TikTok, where they have a decent sized audience. But they're nowhere near where they once were. So while it does look like they've maintained enough relevance to keep things going, Ayo and Teo likely won't reach the same highs they once had. And Ayo and Teo weren't the only ones to have a viral dance song. Unlike others on this list, you might not even recognize the name
I Love Memphis. Yeah. The only thing okay, look, this is the weirdest piece of lore. The only thing I know is that like it was like some drama with him and his girl on TikTok. That's the only thing I know about him outside of the song.
I Love Memphis.
Outside of Juju on that beat.
However, you've definitely heard his hit song Hit the Quan, which dropped back
in
2015. Memphis first got his start on social media under the username Straight Outta Memphis on Instagram, but he wasn't in the music game. At first, he actually started building up his following through posting modeling content, then later moved on to making comedy videos as well.
He was doing modeling?
Well, eventually he reached around 72,000 followers, which is when he started moving away from the funny videos. At this point, he started making money by hosting and promoting parties, and through those parties, he grew his followers and also made a lot of connections. And by surrounding himself with the party life, Memphis realized the potential opportunity making music. Through his connections, he linked up with Miami Mike, who was Soulja Boy's manager, and started making music. And within less than a year in the music game, Memphis went on to put out his smash hit debut single, Hit the Quan. This dance song was originally performed by Rich Homie Quan, and at first it got popular on Vine. At that time, most people just referred to the dance as simply the Rich Homie Quan dance. But 3 months after Rich Homie Quan popularized the trend with the music video for his song Flex, Memphis released his song titled Hit the Quan. The song allegedly cost him only $35 to produce.
That's crazy profit.
And it went viral on a whole nother level than Rich Homie's and eclipsed the original trend completely. The dance craze dominated social media with tons of people creating their own rendition.
And yes, you have to stick out your tongue or it doesn't hit the same. Please, oh my sweat.
All this hype even...
Please watch your step, because I feel myself. Someone... Somebody called a ref.
Got the music video to an impressive 91 million views. It pushed Hit the Quan to number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Number 15 is crazy. How did Rolly only get to 20 and Hit the Quan and went to 15? That's crazy.
And even went platinum. After the massive success
with platinum, yeah, niggas is crazy.
Song, I Love Memphis was even invited on Ellen to perform the dance.
Here to perform his viral sensation, Hit the Quan, please welcome I Love Memphis.
I'm finna show you how to
Hit the Quan.
When asked, do you consider yourself a musician in an interview with Fader, Memphis spoke on his role in the music game in a surprising way, saying, I'm an entertainer. A lot of people are like, what song are you going to put out next? But I'm much more worried about what I'm going to do.
Didn't he also, who made Juju on the beat?
Next. My goal is to just be the biggest I can be. It's about showcasing my talents, and it's about being the best I can by using music as a stepping stone. It's not even about music. This surprised a lot of people, but it revealed a lot about his thoughts on the music game and what would come in the future. Because after Hit the Quan, his impact in the music game fell drastically. Later that year in 2015, Memphis put out his second song, Lean and Dab, which performed alright, but nowhere near his first drop. He also was even able to sign a record deal and go on tour with his music.
What is with dancers being able to sign record deals? Like, this is crazy.
Music and dances.
That's such a stupid
However, a few months
investment.
before he first dropped Hit the Quan, something bad was going on behind the scenes. Early in 2015, Memphis was charged for allegedly participating in a gang of a woman who was under the influence. While he denied the charges and
I don't remember this at all.
Planned on fighting them, the accusation came at a time early in his rise when his image was new and very impressionable. As years went by, he continued to release musical projects with little success and the case hanging over him. In 2017, the charges were eventually dropped as DNA evidence allegedly proved him innocent, but the damage to his career was already done.
Yeah, it's already wraps at that point.
Memphis said, "It cost me $100,000. You know, it cost me a lot of money paying lawyers, endorsement deals, losing out on money. having people book me for shows and then coming back and saying they can't go through with it. While the accusations definitely damaged his career significantly, it wasn't the only reason, because in reality, most people just didn't really want to listen to new music from him. At this point, he hasn't even posted a new song on his YouTube since 2022, and it doesn't look like much will change. As I mentioned with the foreshadowing earlier, Memphis always believed.
I think that the girl in the pink hair might be his girlfriend. I don't know. I just know that they was going through some drama on TikTok. I ain't know nothing about the allegations, bro. That's ridiculous.
He was more of an entertainer than a musician.
That's crazy.
And while music got him his big break, it was never really what he wanted to do. Nowadays, he posts more as a lifestyle influencer, getting pretty significant views on TikTok among
that's what I seen his thing pop up on my TikTok before.
His fans. But again, this attention is nowhere near his peak. And after being arrested in 2022 for disorderly conduct and not putting out music for a couple of years, it seems Memphis won't be doing much in the music game and will probably stick to the influencer grind. So
that makes sense.
Philo of Memphis may have fell off a bit, but Zay Hilfiger still has had some virality.
Is Zay Hilfiger the one who made Juju on the Beat?
Although it might not be for the best reason. Zay Hilfiger and Zayon McCall, like everyone else on this list, are really known for one song. And also, like many others on this list, it was a dance song called Juju on That Beat.
I'm glad you answered my question. I feel like you just read my mind.
Hilfiger started his career posting on social media.
How did I get Zay Hilfiger and I heard Memphis mixed up?
Where he made raps.
That's how unimpressionable either one are.
In comedic skits. With his online presence, he was able to land a couple of local shows where he got the attention of a film producer, Timothy McCall. Through working with Timothy, Zay Hilfiger met Timothy's son, James McCall, who rapped on.
He looks like a stud.
Under the alias Zayon. The two started working on music together and eventually created the hit song Juju on That Beat. At first, this song only got around 18,000 views. But then a month later, it was re-released and out of nowhere received around 45 million views. The song, which apparently only took them 5 minutes to make, quickly took off as a dance trend. In just a few weeks, it shot up to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and eventually went double platinum, taking these guys from nowhere to mainstream.
That's crazy.
Quick. Soon after its initial growth, Atlantic Records signed them and their song to a deal.
What? Yo. How much money do the record labels make when they sign these one-hit wonders while the song is still hot? I just gotta know, bro, because there's no way they genuinely expect to get any type of longevity or any type of worthwhile investments after it. There's no way.
Capitalizing on its virality. A big part of what made Juju on That Beat blow up was the dance being recreated online. The trend was so popular that
it was easy to do.
LeBron and Shaq posted their own versions.
Hey, run it.
The music video, which was later uploaded, soared even higher than previous releases, reaching around 490 million views.
That's crazy.
At this point, Zay Hilfiger and Zayon were 16 and 17, and they had already made it on Ellen, Good Morning America, and Disney. So with all of this time ahead of them and a record deal, it seemed like they were going to the moon. But what followed was not quite the case. Almost immediately after their blow-up, the duo unofficially split, apparently following an argument on Instagram Live. However, while they did claim to be cool, as a duo they never ended up making another song together and decided to pursue individual careers. About a year after his blow-up, Hilfiger faced multiple allegations, including alleged domestic assault on his girlfriend, who ended up getting a restraining order against him. And
Jesus.
He also apparently assaulted his roommate on multiple occasions.
What the fuck? Okay, bro.
At one point with a fire extinguisher. In the months and years
what?
Assaulted his roommate on multiple occasions. At one point with a fire extinguisher.
With a fire? Keep that nigga locked up. A fire extinguisher? You know how mad you gotta be to grab a fire extinguisher? Oh, hell no, bro. That nigga needs to be locked up. Oh my God. I about to say with Bobby Shmurda, but he not, yo.
For sure. In the months and years following, Hilfiger posted a ton of songs and remixes, none of which got the same attention. But even then, at least some of his songs would break 100,000 views. Although this also slowly died out as time went by and he posted less and less on his YouTube. He eventually started vlogging, and one of his first attempts, ironically, was a video titled WTF Happened to Zay Hilfiger. Vlogs were not the only thing he branched off to. As you may remember, he went
branched off to his roommate's face with a fire extinguisher.
Went viral for starting an OnlyFans.
What?
Ironically enough, it got him kicked off Instagram and Twitter, but this was a classic Hail Mary cash grab.
Why you said what? Matty had, what did you say?
Ironically, it was a video titled WTF Happened to Zay Hilfiger. Vlogs were not the only thing he branched off to. As you may remember, he went viral for starting an OnlyFans.
As I may remember, no, that was not information I was previously privy to. Do not gaslight me like that. You said, as you remember, nigga, you are tripping. I did not know that. Don't try to rope me in with that.
Ironically enough, it got him kicked off Instagram and Twitter, but this was a classic Hail Mary cash grab.
And I ain't gonna lie, I went from living in a mansion with Don't Need the Lights Global, Lil Pump, money, you know, on a good road, to getting all the way down to living on Inglewood, you know, stuff like that. But one thing my supporters always was like, you know, what happened? Like, what is this? Like, did you go broke? And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't broke as my OnlyFans wasn't for to say, oh, I'm sexy and I know it. It was more like, I'm trying to get paid so I can release these music videos and then I can do this with y'all. But I didn't want to come on here and take money from y'all.
And this whole adult content venture
Jesus Christ, bro,
somewhat broke the internet for a bit. All of this wildness even ended up with Adam22 having Zay on himself.
Oh yeah, you've eventually committed goonicide, bro. There's no coming back. Once Adam22 invites you to the show, you're either extremely freaky, or you're just extremely or you're like a popping artist, bro. And he was not a popping artist.
The market.
But you were getting pegged on there too, right?
Not at first.
What? Shout out MattyBallz, bro. I'm learning too much, bro. I think I'm cool. I don't need to know nothing else, bro.